All right. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. Today is April 24th, 2024. This is the Santa Rita Union School District board meeting. I would like to call this board meeting into order. Here we go. Shall we go with the Pledge of Allegiance first? And would Sarah, would you like to lead it today? I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Present.
Ms. Elva Ariano,
Here.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Present.
Ms. Cindy Lopez, and Mr. Jacob Sandoval have informed us that they'll be running a little bit late today.
Okay, I trust fellow board members have reviewed the board agenda. I would like to entertain a motion to approve the board agenda as provided.
Motion to approve the board agenda.
Thank you, Sarah. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Alva.
Ms. Turner,
Aye.
Ms. Ariano,
Aye.
Mr. Patel,
Aye, Captain.
motion passes 3-0.
Okay. Let's see, for closed items, we have a few items, correct? We have 2.1, public employee appointment and employment. We have 2.2, conference with real property negotiator, 2.3, conference with labor negotiators, and 2.4, public employee performance evaluation. Were there any comments regarding any closed session?
We have no public comment.
Public comments, okay. At this moment, I'd like to call for an adjournment so we can go into closed session. Can I entertain a motion, please?
Motion to adjourn to closed session.
Thank you, Sarah.
Second.
Thank you, Alba.
Ms. Turner,
Aye.
Ms. Ariano,
Aye.
Mr. Patel,
Aye, Captain.
motion passes 3-0.
Okay, with that, we'll see you on the other side at Okay, we're back in session, open session with the Santa Rita School District. Let's see, regarding closed session items, during closed session, the board appointed Claudia Ariano as Chief Human Resource Officer effective July 1st or sooner if available. The vote was 4-0. Let's give a big hand of applause for you. Thank you very much, everybody. I definitely want to thank our staff for doing a very thorough evaluation process and finding us the best candidate. And I look forward to this great partnership with a new addition. So thank you, and thank you. Having said that, we're going to go ahead and go to 5.0. Approval of consent agenda. Hopefully the fellow board members have reviewed it. Any changes prior to asking for a vote?
I motion to approve.
Second,
Can I get a vote, please? Uniform?
all in favor?
All those in favor. sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, Captain.
Vote passes 5-0.
Ready then. Where's my pen? I know. Okay. We're gonna move forward to 6.0 reports and correspondences. Hold on, am I missing something here?
We have our La Jolla Elementary
Yeah,
School
no,
spotlight.
just saying there was any comments on any items. When do we do that? Oh, it's on 7.1.
Oh.
Okay.
Mhm.
First item for today is 6.1, our favorite part of the meeting. And that is where we get individual school site representatives and to come and inform us about the great things that they're doing. Tonight, we have La Jolla Elementary Schools. So thank you. Let's give them a big welcome. Thank you, La Jolla, for coming. Looking forward to your presentation. It's
I am Alondra Serraras. I'm Ian Vasquez Ruiz. August 7th, we welcomed back our Panthers to school. Back to school night. In back to school night, we had to show the students the students are going to learn and what we're going to do throughout the year and to welcome the families to La Jolla. The Panther Potty. We have the Panther Potty every Monday. Miss Escamilla and Mr. Briseño host a weekly assembly, live for the entire school, weekly activities, school culture, school expectations, Panther shoutouts, school fundraisers, and words of wisdom. The upcoming episode is episode 53. Panther routines. How to be respectful in the bathroom, the hallway, the playground, the cafeteria, and the bus. Panther routines. Enter, exit a room, classroom procedures, line. It's all like one thing. Okay. Line up to be walked to the NPR, walk quietly in line, listen on the playgrounds and playground procedures. Panther store. Every Friday, Mr. Briseño hosts a Panther.
Nice.
Every Friday, Mr. Briseño hosts a Panther store where you could buy prizes like Rubik's Cubes, fidget toys, and stickers. Most of them cost 5 tickets, 10 tickets, 15 tickets, and for 100 tickets, and then for 200 tickets, you could get a class party. How do you get tickets? Be helpful to your classmates, caught making strong Panther choices, and being a good citizen. Sweet
Child O' Mine. We welcomed Panther families, brought sweet treats. La Jolla supplied treats just in case if a Panther didn't bring any or a Panther's family didn't come.
La Jolla Spirit Day, 100th day of school, the Halloween walkathon, the Western Day, and all the December events. Mr. Moreno brought the Grinch to her second grade class. La Jolla helped the Grinch grow his heart.
Fundraising. Some fundraisers we have had are the Halloween Walkathon, which we raised $21,316, the Teddy Valentine's Grams, which we raised $1,398, the Cookie Dough fundraiser, we raised $37,718, and the Winter Book Fair, we raised $9,241. Spring Book Fair all next week.
Awesome.
Profits go back to our Panthers. So where does the money go that we fundraise? Some examples are Dump Perks Assembly, BMX Extreme Show, Stream Museum, Mayor's House 3rd grade, Petting Zoo, TK through 4th Panther shirts, 5th graders middle school shirts, water bottles, Bird School 5th grade, Mission San Juan Bautista, 4th graders, and Tatum's Garden for TKers.
More we had was Amazon prizes, Taylor Swift Eras movie tour, donut party, superstar party, pumpkin carving contest, ice cream parties, and superstar pizza party, student prices, Panther store, new books for the library assemblies, playground improvements, sports, and a Panther mascot costume. Coming soon.
Wow.
District Professional Development. On November 17, while students enjoyed the day off, administration hosted a professional development across the district. Teachers are lifelong learners too.
Big Five training. La Jolla has trained all teachers, offered training to classified staff led by La Jolla leadership team. Monthly training of students with Kimball and associates. What are the Big Five? Shelter in place, drop, cover, and hold, secure campus, lockdown, barricade, evacuation.
La Jolla Sports. La Jolla Sports contains volleyball, flag football, basketball, and track.
Staff shoutouts. Classified employee of the year, Mrs. Julie Alonso. Classified nominee of the year, Mrs. Maribel Serna.
Words of wisdom happens every Monday during Panther Party. The topics covered are anger, confidence, self-esteem, bullying, kindness, love, and much more. Some people say that
Ms. Volminsky's class made a Panther chant. Okay. We invite you board members to say the chant with us. La Jolla Panther Day.
Good choices.
La
La Jolla Panther.
Make
Make good choices. Be respectful, responsible,
Be respectful,
responsible, and be safe. Wow.
That's nice.
Until next time, go Panthers!
All right. First of all, do you have any parents here? I just want to make sure we acknowledge them first before the board members make comments. Would you like to introduce any parent or guardian or older brother, sister? Anyone's here?
This is my mom, Veronica Bernardino. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
Oh, and then my sister, Vicky Sararas.
All right, I would like to ask my fellow board members if they have any comments, starting with Sarah. Oh, so I'm so sorry.
I could go last.
No, we'll have Sarah and then Cindy and we'll continue. I apologize.
It was amazing. You guys did a great job. I was taking notes to copy stuff for my work. But it was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was awesome. You guys should be so proud of yourselves. It takes a lot of courage to come and present to us, to anybody, and you guys did a fabulous job. So be very, very proud of yourselves. You guys continue this path. You guys are going to go places. I am very proud. This is my favorite thing about our board meetings, when we have schools and students come and show us what you guys are doing. It is awesome to see. So thank you guys for that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
You are just have a lot of courage to stand up there and, do a present. You were great presenters, very good presenters. And I was amazed with the information of the fundraising, how much you all fundraised. That is just unbelievable. But I mean, it shows that all of you worked hard at the schools. And I love the way you included us in your chant. I like that. And I hope that, that continues with other schools. That was amazing. I was there with you guys. But thank you very much. You guys did a fabulous job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys were professionals. I was very impressed the way you guys both did in presenting the information. And then even when the screens got cut up, you guys kind of just kept going and stuff. So, and it looks like you guys are doing a lot of amazing things at La Jolla School. So it makes me want to go back to that school.
Yeah.
It's a great job. So proud of yourselves.
All right,
Thank
first of all, I just want to say Alondra and Ian, great job, phenomenal job. But I wanted to say this to you today, and that is today, you guys came here as leaders of your school to represent your school. That is a very big responsibility. And to come up here and present the information and share the great work, it takes a lot of courage. So today, I want you to remember that when you go home. I want you to remember leaders. I want you to remember courage. And the both of those things you did today, I want to thank your parents for the great work that they're doing with you. Thank you to the school. And thank you for your great presentation. It was very well laid out, great information, and you shared the successes of your school as well as the challenges, So thank you very much.
Thank
Any
you.
comments? Anybody else?
Thank you very much.
No more comments, but I just want to let the girls know that I taught at La Jolla School and I loved it there till I left. So go. What are you guys? Panthers? Panthers.
Thank you.
Go
Thank you.
Panthers.
All right. Would you like to get a photo? I think would that be reasonable? How about we get a photo with the board and our awesome leaders from LJ?
You can have the parents and the families too.
Family, sisters.
I bought us a new
Mama,
camera and I
sister.
forgot it in my office. Next time.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, que vayan también que vengan.
Yes. Thank you.
That's a nice jacket, by the way.
Thank you. All right. That's exactly what I got. 1, 2. I did strategically place the summer school signups right behind it.
Very good.
Summer Academy, subliminal recruitment strategy. Very perfect.
Okay, before we move on to our next item, students, We have a very long meeting to go. If there ever was a time for you to say, okay, it's time to go and go do our studies, that would be it, you know?
Yeah.
But once again, thank you for coming. And thank you for, remember, leadership and courage.
Thank you.
All right,
That's very cool.
the best part, huh? Before we go on to the next item, Cindy, I humbly apologize. You know, no, you're an elected board member. Appointed in this case or elected. But the point is that I need to acknowledge that. You know, you're a valuable member, and once again, I do apologize. And it wasn't meant in negativity, it was just an oversight on my part, so.
It's okay, Neil. I know you didn't mean no harm. No, I did not take it personal at all.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna move forward to 6.2, Santa Rita Teachers Association.
Hi, guys. So I'm here to sunshine for our next round of negotiations. So I'm just going to read it. The union hereby notifies the district that we are opening the collective bargaining agreement in accordance with Article 13 of the CBA during and reopening of negotiations. The association respectfully demands to bargain the following articles within the contract and hereby sunshines the following proposals. Article 6, class size. Our students learn best and benefit from small group and one-on-one instruction, which can only happen with smaller class sizes and support. Article 7, compensation. Our students deserve a consistent and stable educational staff. It is imperative that our compensation enables the district to attract and retain highly qualified educators. Article 8, health and welfare benefits. Our students deserve a healthy workforce who have quality and affordable health care. And in the interest of our students, parents, and community, we look forward to a mutually productive and positive negotiations process with the district. Students are at the center of everything we do. Thank you. And then I have a copy for you.
Oh, good.
Thank you very much. And as always, our district looks forward to working with all of our employee bases. Thank you very much. We're gonna move forward to 6.3, our California School Employees Association. Do we have any? All right, we're gonna keep moving forward, so we do not. We're gonna move to 6.4, Superintendent's Cabinet.
We have no reports this evening. We have our State of the District report later.
Okay. Thank you very much. 6.5, sorry. Yes, here we go. 6.5, board members, starting with Cindy.
So this weekend we had here at Gavilan View, we had our community fair and it was such a good turnout. I came with my husband and my two daughters, and it was really nice. It was really nice to see the community out here. There was so much information, the booths, Summer, and all of you ladies. Thank you for putting that together because it takes a lot of work. And it was just beautiful to see that a lot of our families took advantage of that and came out and was here. And honestly, what I thought was so nice, and I witnessed it, was a child came and we had the Kona ice, right? And so they thought they had to pay. So they were like, how much is it? And they're like, no, it's free. And it's free, you know? And so it was awesome that we were able to provide that for our community. The kids had such a good time, and I really, really enjoyed it. So thank you guys for putting that together.
Thank you very much, Cindy. Sarah?
Just to piggyback off of her comment, thank you for all the work that went into the community fair. And I enjoyed walking around and getting to talk to people that sometimes I only get to see once or twice a year. So that was really nice.
Thank you, Sarah. Elva?
I did too. I went to the community fair and they gave me a little card to go around to all the little vendors. So I got stamped, and after you finish, you fill it out, then you get to enter a raffle. but I didn't win.
Ah, are you,
But-
what?
But the ones
What?
that did win were the children and all the people that were there. They are the winners. They're the ones that took advantage of it. And there was a lot of kids there. I was happy to see a lot of our staff there. Victor introduced me to a couple of his staff members that, sometimes you hear the name, but you don't know who they are. And what else? The free stuff. Oh boy, the kids were going for that free stuff. So was I. So it was really good. Being that it was the first time that we've ever had that, I think it was number one, a great idea. I can't remember Jacob or somebody had said, let's have a community fair. And it was well attended. There was a lot of parents there. So I enjoyed it. I didn't get to meet the baby, but I did meet her daughter, the little one. And I had a lot of fun. I mean, it was nice for me to go out and have a fresh air out there. And thank you, Summer, for the popsicle. So and then, okay, so that was that. And then I also attended the Curriculum Council meeting last Monday. And it was mainly to present some of the writing, Step Up to Writing and the AVID. It was, everybody that was there got a glimpse of what it's all about and how you can incorporate it into your day, a teacher's day. And then we also had a phonics. I think we're going to order that, or we're going to try. But I was really excited about it because it's by Anita Archer. And Anita Archer and I go way back. I don't know her personally, but we go way back when she used to present to me or to my staff. So it was good. So there was another thing that I went to, but I can't remember what it is. So let's go on.
Thank you very much, Jake.
Okay, so I also attended the community fair. I thought it was a great idea is having the parents go through the gym first, so that way they make sure they see the resources and stuff. So I think those events are so important because I think a lot of times some families and children don't have spaces where they can kind of do activities, especially for free, at no cost. It was good to kind of see, like you said, a lot of those jump houses, a lot of those games and stuff to kind of provide that space. So I appreciate the staff who took the weekend and brought their family. I got to meet Victor's family and stuff, so appreciated that as well. So yeah, so looking forward to obviously making that bigger and better every year, so it kind of continues growing. So, but I appreciate it was a good event. I was able to bring my daughter, so I'll have to bring her by the board because I know Sarah and missed out on Neil as well. Yeah, I know. I also attended the facilities meeting, and I also appreciate that space. I know it's good to see how staff and teachers can kind of go there and interact with Victor and kind of share thoughts and feedback. So it's good to that our district has those spaces. I know that a lot of districts sometimes were on the advocacy side fighting for having those spaces, and our district's always very welcome to have those spaces. So I appreciate that about our district. So that's all I have to report.
Okay, I just want to, first of all, thank my fellow board members. I've been absent a few meetings. I think, we talked about the fact that I'm also a golf coach and have to go to and my son's in another golf team, another league. So it's a shifting of priorities. But what I have noticed while I'm out there is when I go to Rancho, I go to Alvarez and I meet the parents, and when we discuss, because that's we're the main feeder school to those high schools. And consistently, we're always highly rated. They always talk about the great things that our school district offers. And the number one thing they always come back to is the fact that we have smaller schools. Everyone gets to know each other. It's not like a huge complex, and when you see them succeeding, knowing that, we're the incubators, if you will, and then we hand them off for their future success, and then they're achieving it. So I always want us to remember that as a school district, that, we are the ones who are creating the future and making sure that they have success in other schools after ours. So, I know we're doing a great job. I know we can do better, but it's really good to hear the public say that. you know, so I just wanted to say that. And that's about it for me. I'm going to keep moving forward. All right. Dr. Alderman.
I want to just say thank you to Dr. Summer Prather-Smith and her family resource liaisons for putting together the amazing community fair and carnival, as well as all of our staff and administrators who were there to help supervise, to set up. It was a lot of work behind the scenes for our families to come and have a really stress-free day. And so I really appreciate the hours and hours of work that went into that.
You know, I wasn't able to attend, but I'm very excited about this fair. You know, and based on what I'm hearing from my fellow board members, it's like something we want to grow and continue and expand year after year. So, but once again,
Yeah. Yeah.
she's like, whoa, I just finished. I need time. I need recovery.
Yeah. Mr. Patel, it was fabulous. It absolutely was.
You know, yeah. Well, you know, whenever you do something for the first time, it takes way more effort, way more, you know, manpower. But once you build up that system, you know, it becomes self-sustaining, you know, but the original people to put it together, God bless them, because that are the founders. So all the ones who got together to create this, I just want to say thank you. And hopefully this will become a yearly event with, like I said, bigger and better year after year after year. So anything for the community. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, we're going to move forward to 7.1. Any public comments regarding our other agenda items for tonight?
No public comments this evening.
Okay. For that was for non-agenda. How about for 7.2 for agenda items?
No public comments.
All right, thank you very much. All right, tonight we have our 8.1 State of the District Report, Q3, or as I like to call it, State of the Union. No pun intended.
So this is something that we started doing. The board a few years ago put together a strategic action plan. So we felt like it's important that we have some regular reports, things that are going on that relate to that and those priorities that we set. So we've got our cabinet here. Melanie Grundy's not able to be with us this evening, so I'll rep her slide. And so because we've got some information that we want to share out about how we're doing in Q3. So we'll go over some updates, our community engagement, academic engagement, professional development, staff resilience and wellness, and then some things for our upcoming school year planning. Do want to give a very quick shout out to our Monterey County Custodian of the Year for 2024, Mr. Jose Espinosa, who's the lead custodian at Gavilan View Middle School, and he's going to be honored at the upcoming banquet in May. And so you can see Dr. Gus and her staff came in with the extra large check for Mr. Espinosa. He'll get a real one that he can take to the bank. And we surprised him and we put together some footage that we'll share out at the banquet.
All right, so let's go with community engagement. I asked to also share that Jose is also our resident DJ. So if you were at the resource fair, he was our DJ in action. So I wanted to start with a couple of weeks ago, we had the California Center for School Climate with us. As you know, we worked with them again last year around our family forum and our student listening circles. This year we worked on a deep data dive. And if you look down at the bottom there, you'll just kind of see some of those words that came forward around what belonging means for our students, for our families. The great part of this event was that it was all inclusive. So we had representation of our administration, our certificated staff, our classified staff, our parents, and our students all together. And we're looking forward to continuing our work with them throughout this upcoming year. We had a couple of family STEAM activities as part of our culmination of our Saturday Academies, which will also be our last Saturday Academy sessions starting the next 4 weeks. At our last family STEAM, we had over 200 families participate. STEM Center USA came down from the Los Angeles area. We had several STEAM kits left over from our summer programs over the years. So they were able to take all of those STEAM kits and put them into action so that they weren't sitting in a warehouse, but instead were being used. Yoli Arts collaborated with them, and Yoli actually ended up creating a mural for their art program that STEM Center USA got to take back to LA and hang in their main offices there in Los Angeles. And then again, we'll continue that work with them in our upcoming Saturday school sessions. And then the Community Resource Fair. I am actually still a little bit tired. So we had over 1,800 participants total come through the resource fair. The great part of us directing them through the gym is we are able to take counts. Most of our community partners ran out of items. We've gotten unbelievable feedback around it being some of the most organized, well-attended events that our organizations have been part of. And I want to say that none of that is due to me. I have an amazing, amazing team that did that work. So both of our community liaisons, Blanca Valverde, which just sending out to her family, her father passed away, or else they would be here. They had the services today, and she still showed up. So it was so important to her that she still showed up at that event. Leticia Ayala, who's our other community liaison, and then Joseph Ruiz, who is our district social worker, along with both of our nurses, Elizabeth Simmelman and Nora Hale, worked collaboratively all this year getting these organizations together. And so a huge, huge thank you to them for all of their work. So we had over 40 community organizations that represented all areas of service within our community, including those health screenings. What the nurses and I are talking about is for next year, really focusing in on a community health fair as our big theme. It really helped to get our students there to get that Tdap vaccine that they need for their upcoming school year. And we could also be working around kinder vaccination. So we're thinking about what next year's plan theme will be. So it was a great event overall, a lot of teamwork, and I really appreciate all of that from our groups.
All right, for academic engagement, we had the Rancho San Juan High School AVID students come and share their career aspirations with our JG students last week. They brought poster sharings and got to speak with all of our students on campus about their colleges, what they're liking to attend, and also their careers. And the really cool thing was many of the students that were there as seniors were our students at JG during the shutdown. And so it was really cool to see them come back and get to re-engage with their staff and the teachers. So they really enjoyed that time. So big shout out to the Rancho San Juan AVID program and also Brenda Burt for helping coordinate this.
Looking at our professional development, on April 2nd, we had a district-wide professional development day. And as you can see by these schedules, we accommodated a lot of different topics according to the interest of our staff. And we were also able to pull in some of our classified staff to receive some training that will help them work with our students more successfully with restorative practices and out on the playground with Playworks. Our teachers all attended 2 morning sessions according to the grade level interest that had been received through our thought exchange. And then they had an optional lunch session. And we want to thank Kimball and Associates and Lozano Smith for sponsoring the lunches for those 2 sessions. Lozano Smith had an attorney present at the middle school for the 2 morning sessions on student discipline and other means of correction. And so then they offered that session at lunch to our elementary staff who wanted to attend, and we had about 50 sign up to attend that session. And then likewise, Ricky Robinson, who talked about understanding your own, as professionals, your own stress and how that impacts your work and how to address that so that you can maintain the work that you do with students in a positive and uplifting way, presented to the elementary in the morning, but then for middle school at lunchtime. And that was very well received. And then in the afternoon, teachers were able to spend some time preparing in their classrooms and getting ready for the next day with students. So these are
whoops, I went ahead on mine. These are just a few of the feedback highlights that I wanted to share because the teachers were so appreciative of the structure of this day and of us hearing out their interests and applying those. They loved Rick's presentation. A couple of people said, please hire him. They want to continue to work with him. And Summer did set up some work that we'll be doing with them next year with him. They enjoyed the Circleways presentation that they had at the middle school level. They really enjoyed the law session. It helped them to understand why the district and their principals are responding to things that the way that they are. And they appreciated that the lunchtime was optional so that those who wanted to attend were able to, but if they wanted to just get to their classrooms, they had that option as well. I've been working closely with Santa Rita Elementary because they are a part of the Literacy Coaches and Reading Specialists Educator Training Grant. And that is the grant that we talked about when I brought the literacy coach job description and position to you in a previous meeting. So Hillary, Donna, Patricia, the academic coach, and I have been attending training every couple of weeks through the Sacramento County Office of Education on reading and literacy effectiveness, and also doing a root cause analysis for our current data. And next week, we will be putting together some action plans. And so this is what the grant provides. I wanted to be able to share that. And so we've established the common language around the science of reading. We've done the root cause analysis. Our next step is the needs assessment and then the literacy plan. And we have completed another wellness and resilience survey with our staff. We had about half of our staff members participate this time. I was hoping that that would be higher. So we're going to continue working on getting more participation. It's only about a 3 to 5 minute survey that people can take on their device or just on their cell phone. But we are seeing that overall as a district, the red band is our district. I'm sorry, the red band is the benchmark. So everybody who uses the platform, and the blue band is how our district is scoring. And so overall, you can see that in most areas, it looks like our staff is on par with other districts. However, we are a little bit below in building networks when we look at the overall picture. It changes when we look at different subgroups. So for looking at this according to a person's role in the school district, again, this is looking at where a group of professionals falls compared to the benchmark. And so our lowest bucket is for maintaining perspective, and that is for our middle school teachers. And then the next lowest is mastering stress, also for middle school teachers. Yeah, those go together, right? If we go on to the next slide, it is divided by age group. And again, across all the age groups, we can see, we can see that it is also that maintaining perspective, along with staying healthy and mastering stress, that is trending as an area where we need to focus. And then this is broken up according to who people serve. So we're looking at no grades. So that would be a lot of the office maintenance kind of staff where they're saying all or none. And then K to 2, 3 to 5. And again, you can see the lowest dip there for our middle school staff, whether they're certificated or classified. So our next steps, we had a community of practice meeting with our People Bench consultants last week, and we worked together looking at all of this data on one priority that we could do together, work on both at the district level and site levels. And we decided to look at our onboarding practices and provide a smooth, effective onboarding process to set new staff up for success. And we talked about what we can do both at the district level and then at the school site level to make that happen. And then each school site also chose a priority for their own school based on their own data. And so these are two examples. One was to invest in the development of our people. So that kind of goes along with that onboarding. And then what are the next steps to grow you? And another one was empower our people to proactively manage their well-being at work. So we're lucky to have this platform within People Bench that helps to give us ideas then on actions we can take to work on those strategies. And one thing we did notice, or I noticed in looking at the data, this is a shout out to Analia and Jose at La Jolla, is they had set some priorities after our last survey, and you could clearly see the improvement in that area of well-being. Yes.
So really quick, so what it does is after you guys got that data of the surveys and it says, okay, these are your action steps to.
It gives us some menus to choose from based on the areas. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got some things looking forward. So for our special education and student services department, Melanie and her team are doing a lot of planning for having her 2 program managers. And so looking to get them coached up both on the special education and the student services side. So how they can make sure that they've got a good work balance with the focus on special education compliance, as well as their areas for the SST process, medical billing, and all of those things, and be able to spread that work in her department. And then looking to expand our Monterey County behavioral health counseling for general education students. So we have the opportunity to both keep our full-time FTE for students who are receiving special education services and growing our current partial FTE to a full-time provider for services for our general education students for the coming year.
Okay, that's my slide. During the last meeting, I went over the district budget, so I'm just going to talk about the school site funding. I was meeting, I had a meeting actually today with the school site secretaries. I don't know if you remember that spreadsheet that I provided you with their school site allocation and the percentages. So at this point, believe it or not, we're only a month and about 4 days before the end of the school year. So at this point, they should be about 80 to 90% of their expenditures. The percentages are a little bit all over the place on the different sites. So I just reminded them that we do need to make sure that we spend those funds, make sure that they do the last orders. I provided the year-end checklist, which is the dates on when they should be doing their last budget revisions, their requisitions, making sure they got all the stipends paid in, timesheets, all that good stuff. They have the dates. So we just went over this information. Again, provided the help and support if they needed to meet one-on-one to make sure that they spended those funds. I did get requests and questions in regards to, is this an allowable expenditure for this grant? So it looks like everyone is on board with the spending. So that's great. We're going to keep an eye on it and make sure that by the dates that we have set up for the year end, everyone is following and making sure that they spend all the funds before they are gone for the end of the school year. We also talk about the school site budget allocation for the next year. As you know, the COLA for our district at the district level is projected to be -3%. So we talk about possible budget reductions at the school site level in regards to the LCFF funding, possible title funds as well. Also, we talk about the grants that are no longer going to be available for next year, that they have access this year. I have listed those on the PowerPoint slide, such as the in-person grant, which it helped them at the beginning of the year to get those extra hours to help them set up everything ready for this beginning of the school. We had the para-professional grant. It was just restricted for that as well. That's not going to be rolling over for next year. And also the grant that was helping out with arts, instructional materials, music, and PE, the resource 6762, which is also not going to be available for the sites specifically for what we allocated this year based on the plan. So something new that's coming up next year as well is new LCAP codes. As you know, there's a new LCAP that we are going to be working with Summer and Becky this new year. So there's going to be new codes, new budget allocations as well. And something new as well is going to be the health supplies. It used to be district funded, and we used to buy those due to COVID. We started using those to buy in large purchases because it was cheaper. Now that COVID kind of like went away, and we don't need that many cleaning wipes and hand sanitizers and all of that. We're doing that at the local side because they have different needs. Some of the school sites have, for example, Santa Rita may have more needs than New Republic in regards to they might get more students that get sick with a headache or stomach pain, maybe because they didn't have breakfast, things like that. So those are going to be allocated based on enrollment, but also based on unduplicated count as well. And also field trips, we're going to get new budgets for the sites, and we used to do it at the district-wide. Now we're going to have that local control aligned with the LCAP as well. So that's pretty much all I have.
Really quick, just so that way it clarifies for the public, anybody else watching. So what you're talking about is every school site gets a certain amount of budget, and you've been working with the school sites just to ensure they spend the funds.
Yeah.
Because we only have a month left. So if they don't spend those funds of resources or things they need, then they will get a new allocation the following year.
Yeah.
So you've been working with them to let them know what's allowable, how to work with their budget.
Right. And this has nothing to do with positions or anything like that. This is their discretionary funding that they use on pretty much based on their school site needs. This year, it was one of the years where we were able to provide the most funding because of the one-time funds. We allocated a little bit over $1 million for the 6 schools, which is great. And then the next year, we have a little bit over 200,000 that is not going to be able to roll over. So that's going to be a decrease, including with the negative 3% COLA that we're projecting for next year.
Okay, thank you.
Rosa, so to clarify, like all of those one-time funds basically will expire.
Yeah, they're
at the-
expiring this year by June 30th.
Does that, excuse me, does that mean that the one-time funds that were no longer going to be available, like in the arts, are we still going to have an art program and everything? It's just that we're not going to get that funding, correct?
So we had the state had given, in addition to like the Prop 28 for music and arts, there was supposed to be multi-allocation for arts, music, and instructional materials, like in addition to. And we had made a multi-year plan, and the state informed districts that we will not be receiving the second allocation of that.
Okay.
And so that's next year's planning and everything. We'll have to take a look at what is left and then reallocate for those actions. But that was going to be a one-time grant, but you had 2 years and they broke up the allocation. And so they aren't sending the second allotment for it.
Okay. So yeah, because
But we still have all of our Prop 28 money. You'll see a position for our visual and performing arts coming to you and it would be with the Prop 28. And then of course with LCAP, how we've been working with our arts programs.
Fantastic. Thank you. And with that being said, I also want to say how beautiful our artwork is in here. It's just gorgeous. I was looking at them. I haven't gone all the way around, but it's nice. It's just beautiful. It just livens up the room. It's really pretty.
Thank you. I want to add something really quick just to highlight. Besides what you saw the spreadsheet, right? Also taking consideration that they're also getting the lottery funds, and this is something very unique for a school, for a district, that if you ask around, not a lot of districts are doing. And the lottery funds can be used for any instructional materials that the school site needs. Anything for the teachers is using, anything for books, calendars, notebooks, highlighters, everything like that. This year, they got a little bit over $10,000 for school site. So that funding is not going to go away. It's going to keep going. And it's a good dollar amount that I actually got interviewed by the state, and they were really impressed of the way that we are distributing the funds for lottery.
Very nice.
And it's a really good thing. So those are gonna keep going. They're still gonna have those for going back to the classroom for our teachers and our students.
And did I hear you say it was 10,000 for each school site?
Yeah, it's a little bit
Wow.
over that. We're doing it based on enrollment. So we're gonna be doing that again next year.
Okay, good, thank you.
Okay, for our tech department, I really do want to give a big shout out to our IT staff, Hussam, Gilbert, Robert, and Sam for all of their hard work that they've been doing this year in helping acquire all of our technology and manage it this year. And I spoke last meeting about the educational technology that we're onboarding with the ViewSonic displays and smart boxes, the 2-in-1 devices for our students, as well as the refresh for the teacher workstations. Other items that we've been working on are network and security. And so we have piloted and are onboarding managed methods. And what that does is it helps us manage our Google Workspace. It helps us monitor what's happening in terms of anyone having suspicious logins or tracking where students are going to make sure we have things in alignment, as well as working with our LineWise, our content filtering. And we also onboarded Gopher, which is a management system for our Google Workspace. We are upgrading our network and data security to meet the new standards. So we are bringing in Sophos, which is a 24/7 monitoring and detection and response. So we will have human beings that are helping us monitor our systems for what traffic's coming in, as well as providing what's called an endpoint security. We have a firewall with MCOE that keeps things from kind of coming in, but this endpoint also brings everything in a round shape to allow us to secure our complete network. The other thing we're doing is upgrading our data center. So we will have a cloud backup and storage in the cloud rather than having it fully on premises. And so that's also another well-needed upgrade that we're going to be doing.
Just a
Yes, sir.
quick comment on that. I'm very concerned about network security and data integrity. I noticed we have on the agenda item today for Sophos for detection. However, for me, it's always about protection and security, especially with minors and confidential data. Given the history of school sites, Hartnell College, et cetera, being hacked, being held hostage for ransom and stuff, I implore my fellow board members that, we give additional consideration to securing our networks. And if it does require additional funding, I would rather always side on the caution of safety and security if it costs us a little bit more, rather than to be underprotected and later on have to give up everything. We are a smaller district. We cannot afford to pay high ransoms. I think a little ounce of prevention in this case is something we can do. But I am worried about this. As time goes on, the number of network, every day I get something in the mail. So-and-so has been hacked. Check the security. Get a free TransUnion account. You monitor yourself. But basically it says you've been victimized. Now you watch out for yourself. And that's unacceptable. And so we have the records, confidential records of our entire staff, entire students, their families. And, whatever we can do to secure that and not have to deal with future issues, I'm appreciative of Sophos. I'm appreciative of updating the network. I'm appreciative of having backup in the cloud, all the right things, but I just want to make sure that we're always citing on the edge of caution. If it's an issue of additional money to provide additional technology security, I please bring that before the board. I would love to entertain that. Thank you.
Yes, and Hussam and I are also going to be attending a network security conference coming up. But so far with what we are putting in place, that is definitely going to provide what you're looking for in terms of those pieces right now.
I just want to elaborate on Sophos. I've actually worked with Sophos, and let me tell you that firewall sometimes it's like a headache, because they block. So just warning you, you might have some teachers or admin
Well,
saying, like, you know.
the nice thing is they're actually not going to be providing the firewall. That's the one part of it that
But
we
definitely it is something, because it's true.
Yeah.
It's scary and we do need that protection.
for sure.
But Sophos is, it's a good
one.
it's a good one. So
Yeah.
just want to give you peace of mind with that.
Most definitely. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Now, as far as district-wide safety technologies, we've been working with MOT and finding an upgrade to a complete routing system that has GPS tracking for our buses. It will have a cloud tablet system that tracks ridership for our students using student IDs, which I'll talk about here in a second, as well as integrating with the cameras that we already have on board. It's going to integrate to take those into a cloud monitoring rather than having it be DVR based. So we'll have better, more timely information for our busing. It also includes a parent application that we'll be doing a slow rollout. First, we'll get students used to the tracking and get our systems in place, but it will also notify parents when the bus is getting ready to stop off their child.
When I saw the ID card system and its interconnectedness with the bus and systems, that we already have, I mean, that additional layer of having a lanyard, having the ID, I'm surprised, it already hasn't been done, so the fact it's integrated with the other technologies, good move.
Thank you. Yeah. And so with that, with the ID cards, the nice thing is it's not just for bus ridership. It's actually meant to be a student ID. So we'll be bringing that in first as we're integrating into the routing. And it will also help check out with his lunch counts, keep that track, the library cards, as well as login for students for Clever. And let's see, that brings us into our site security cameras and cloud monitoring systems that is paid in part with the COPS grant that we received. And that is going to help us with our on-site security. It will be cloud-based, and we've been piloting it here at GV, and the camera is amazing. I'm working right now with our vendors to get all the final quotes and everything to start that installation over the summer.
Do we have an idea of number of cameras per site or numbers range we're looking at or anything?
It's upgraded from what we currently have in terms of my brain capacity right now for how many, but it will be an upgrade. So we will have more. And the nice thing of it is what we have currently right now are bullet cameras. So it's kind of the point and shoot. So you just see that range. These ones are going to be dome fitted. So you're actually going to get better camera angles. It has zoom capabilities. And with that cloud-based monitoring system, it adds that extra layer of security so we can look at parameters, line crossings, and also get updates on whether it's a raccoon or a person coming onto our campus at night.
Love to see it when it's implemented.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner. We're really excited about all of that stuff because we don't lose any more kids. We know where he got off, where he got on. I mean,
I'm for GPS
But
tagging,
anyways,
but laws, why not? My
we have
puppy
a-
has.
anyway. We have great detective services with Ms. Summer Prather Smith. So, so facilities and maintenance projects update. I kind of combined what the projects are with completed and still ongoing and going on for this next summer. So the one clarification I just wanted to make is facilities versus maintenance projects. So facilities kind of just deals with, the division of state architect projects that really have to go through a very rigorous process. And of course, we're going to have to deal with like public contract code and stuff like that. However, with maintenance projects, they're bigger than what my maintenance crew can do, but it has a streamlined process. That process is what we call the cup or cupcake. And that's just the California Uniform Public Cost Accounting that has been established with the district for many years. So I just wanted to kind of just let you know that the completed, believe it or not, they're closed out. So I'm really proud about these projects right here. Of course, the ongoing, that's something that we're dealing with committees and stuff like that and coming into the board with a phasing plan. And those are like the bigger projects. So that's all I have for tonight.
All right, so looking at 24, 25, just a couple of goals that we've set for our department is we're going to continue purchasing like we have this year in terms with our equipment grant money in terms of old and outdated equipment that needs to be replaced. But I also want to purchase some new stuff for the kitchen. We're limited in space, but things like food processors or vegetable slicers, so we can instead of buying those pre-cut, we can cut them ourselves. Maybe a meat slicer for the central kitchen. We can slice our own deli meats. In terms of increasing staffing, we've had some talks about increasing our department staff, and that could be in terms of increasing hours of staff that we currently have, maybe adding some positions there, and then to offer some more staff training. This year we partnered with FIG K-12, so we got some good staff training on that. I want to continue that next year, of course. I'll be bringing that to the board at some point. And I also was able to take a couple of staff members to a conference this year, which is really rare because it's during the week. We don't have coverage usually, but it worked out to take a couple. So I'd like to do that again next year. It was good for them. Those three goals are hopefully going to be able to allow us to incorporate some more speed scratch and scratch cooking. And then to close out this year, we wanted to highlight the end of the year barbecue that we've been doing the last couple of years. We're going to partner with Kleinfeld again. It's a good local family barbecue, and keeping the menu the same: chicken, tri-tip, some beans and so forth. We're listening to everybody, and we got a vegetarian bean on the menu now. So hopefully it's as good as their other chili beans. Their chili beans are great. Love them. I think we're still talking about what site. It's worked very well at John Gutierrez, so more than likely it'll be there, but we'll keep other thoughts in mind. And we're looking at May 30th around 1:30 to start, and then carry it as long as we need to make sure we get staff like bus drivers and so forth that can't be there that early.
Quick question, a little bit off the subject, but with the change of the USDA and the requirements, coming in, any major changes you're seeing coming that would, affect us in terms of any significance?
Not huge. They're looking at a lot of sugar and salt requirements. Sodium and sugar are the big ones. They're starting in 2025 and kind of phasing it in to hopefully have it fully implemented by 2027 is what I've been hearing. The good thing about our vendors is we don't prepare all the food, right? So when we purchase it, it meets those requirements already. And if not, then we go get it elsewhere.
But I do appreciate scratch cooking, the way we're talking about. So
we're going to try.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I guess one thing for me, I know we're talking about like staff morale and then the barbecue. I know one year in the past we had, I don't know if it's too short notice because we don't know over capacity, but like a raffle for the teachers at the end of the year, or a raffle across the district. I think one year we had that. If you guys remember, we did it, I think in Gavilan View Library, I think is where we had it.
We did that when we were still on hybrid. Yes,
Okay.
because we had videoed it with our teachers who were still working at home.
Okay. So that might be an idea for end of the barbecue, something to mix it up is, end of the year raffle potentially. I know one year we donated baskets as board members and we try to get volunteers. So might be something end of the year and maybe mid-year, kind of just something to give excitement for. I know La Jolla does something with their teachers every so often. And I know they look forward to that, and that makes a little bit of excitement and kind of just, I think a lot of times it's how we look at how you're feeling and stuff. So I think one of those things sometimes just kind of breaks you out of your cycle of, if you're thinking a certain way or there's burnout or whatever the case might be. So something to take in consideration. Yeah.
I actually want to say thank you. I mean, there's a lot of exciting things for IT personnel. Victor and Chuck, it was actually nice having you guys here, not seeing you through the camera. A lot of exciting things coming to our district, but there is something that I wanted to put out there for future. I know you asked for future ideas with our employee Jose. I know you guys did the rest, and I'm sure he probably was like, no, but I want to see if, when our staff gets recognized this way, I think it's very important that they're here and that we recognize them. I could say that I have had an Saturday. He was there DJing, I met him on a kind of personal level as he coached 7th grade soccer. And let me tell you that man, those girls did not win one single game. They did not, and they ended up bringing a trophy home. That's how good it was because, I mean, he made his team, nobody was better than nobody, and they grew. And so he shows a lot of that morale that our school has, and our district has a lot of Jose's. Summer, we have a lot of great employees like that. And I just think it's very important. Something like this, I know you guys did the recognition and everything, but I would want them to come here for us to thank them personally on such major accomplishments.
And we're still working on those recognitions. This was the initial step based on Dr. Guss's schedule and in time for the MCOE celebration. But when we do our classified appreciation resolution, I will also be inviting Jose as well as our other classified employees of the year, and then the same for certificated when we recognize them.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Any other comments? I have a couple. Well, they're both related. It has to go back to the PD, professional development, for our certificated. I saw 2 items on here that totally blew my mind because I've been a teacher for 20 years. God knows how many PD. I'm sure maybe Alva can back me up on this, maybe Sarah too. But the 2 items that were presented, the legal presentation as well as mental wellness. I have yet in 20 years have had any presentation on that. And the idea that this district is open about it and providing that legal perspective that most teachers don't get exposed to. What teacher is going to go make an appointment to an attorney and say, hey, tell me about all the legal ramifications of my teaching profession? Not going to happen. And the fact that this district went out of their way to provide that information. And yeah, sometimes, the truth hurts. Sometimes learning there are limitations, legal limitations, but it's better to know them rather than imagining things that aren't true or aren't possible. And so I think for staff development, having them included and understanding the legalities of what we are dealing with and what they have to deal with, I think was a major contribution to the overall wellness of morale of getting our teachers on board of what we're trying to do within the confines that we have to live in. So I just want to say thank you. And the mental wellness component, when was the last time an admin said, how you doing? How's your mental wellness? And the idea that we brought that in as a PD item, rather than saying, let's look at standards, let's look at teaching techniques, this, that, or whatever. And so I hope this message gets out to our certificated staff and our entire staff that, we're trying our best, but we're doing unique things that other districts are not doing. We're including you, we're welcoming you, we're informing you way more than other districts. So I hope that message gets across. When I saw those 2 items, I said, wow, 22 years of teaching, and I've never had this. So I just want to compliment and thank you for the presentation today, but especially for all the items and inclusiveness and bringing our staff together and being them well informed. So thank you. Any other comments? Was that okay? All right. Move forward to 9.1, approval of resolution 20.0405, ordering an election.
Thank you. It's that time of year again. We will have 2 trustee seats that expired December 2024. And so this is our official step of calling for an election.
I motion to approve.
Second.
I have a second on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I apologize. Madam Supervisor, would you like to call the vote?
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, sorry. All right, here we go. 9, by the way, election time already?
You and me.
Listen, if there's anyone out there who can do a better job than me, please step on up. I'm getting old. Call me, we'll talk, Anyway, having said that, let's keep moving. 9.2, public hearing resolution, 24.04, resolution evaluating a real estate property in accordance with school site selection standards, approving the acquisition of real property and authorizing the interfund borrowing. I believe this is a public hearing, correct? So I hereby call this public hearing open at a 7:11 time period.
We have not received any public comments, but
Is there a time period we normally have to wait? Or do we just go ahead and close?
We usually give it a couple minutes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we're waiting. This is pretty exciting to purchase the first land site and want to thank the family or the landowners. I know that's a legacy of your family, and we appreciate the legacy you're leaving behind with the school site, where children will eventually learn and be the future leaders of our community. So we thank you also for the legacy your family has left behind. So thank you.
I want to thank the family as well. And there were many calls that we had to make to them for all the different things that had to be done. COVID also happened in all of this. So it was just a very long process. I want to thank Victor for his expertise in doing this. We waited a long time to get to this day. So I'm delighted that we're here. And one of the fundamentals of our school district is local walkable schools. And this is a step forward in that, in having a school in the new neighborhoods that can accommodate the children and provide the level of education that we demand for our kids.
I wholeheartedly concur. I want to personally thank the Nucci family, especially Victoria Nucci. This has been a long time coming. The support that the family has shown Santa Rita District in selling the land to the district so future students can benefit from having local schools within the neighborhood. And so I just want to say thank you. It's a legacy that will live on for generations. And it's thank you to people like the Nucci family who make these things possible. And I just once again, thank you very much.
I also want to say thank you to the Nucci family and then all of you guys. I'm the newbie on the board and all I've heard was I think 20 years. How many years that's been trying to get it, right? So many years. So it's been a lot of work from all of you guys. So thank you for all of you guys that have, been in good communications with the family. And like you guys said, it's a good stepping stone and piggyback writing on what you said, Sarah. It's just something that we have for our students to be able to get to school, in a walking distance. That's very important. So I'm excited.
Elva, I think you're one of our board members who was around the last time we purchased land for schools,
Yes.
So maybe a few comments.
Yes, sir. And I just, you said it all. Everybody said it all. Thank you so much to the family, Nucci. And I am just delighted. I'm excited. I think the last time that we purchased was 20 years ago. And I've been on the board 21, I think 22. So I'm just very thankful. I think we're blessed. And I'm just hoping that everything goes through smoothly and we'll, like I say, the winners, like I said before, the ones that win are the children. So they are our customers and we need to provide for them. So hopefully everything goes through and I'm just, how can I say, I get butterflies in my stomach thinking about it. So I'm just hoping that we can see in the future the school that is going to be coming through, and I'm just thankful. So yes.
I also wanted to concur and thank our staff, for many years of work on this project, and to get it concluded. But there is somebody else we need to acknowledge, and that is our greater Santa Rita community. You know, this community has always stood by this school district. You know, when it comes for funding, when it came for bonds, whatever it may be, this Santa Rita community has stood up. You know, we're a unique community. We believe in smaller schools. You know, we believe in local schools in our neighborhoods. And the fact that our community has always shown support and fiercely independent of the whatever else is going on. And we do it for our community and our students and our families. So I want to say thank you to the greater Santa Rita community for always having our back. You know, it's not easy being educators in a school district, but when your community is supportive, great things can happen. And that is why I firmly believe Santa Rita District is the #1 elementary school and middle school district in Salinas. I'm not just the only one saying it. I hear it often from our parents, not only the current ones, but the ones who already have students who graduated from our district. You know, and I hear it from our feeder schools. I mean, the schools we feed into. So thank you.
I just, I just also want to, excuse me, say that I wholeheartedly, with all my heart, from Chuck to everybody here in the board and everybody in the district office, how hard they work to get to where we're at now. And I'm just proud of you guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We can't thank you enough. We can't. So you guys do an awesome job. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, with that, any further comments or can we close? All right, I think it's appropriate time to go ahead and I officially close the general hearing, the public hearing. Here we will. Having said that, we're going to move on to 9.3, and that is approval of resolution evaluating real estate in accordance with school site selection standards, approving acquisition of real property and authorizing the interfund borrowing.
Thank you, Mr. President. These are our action items that will allow us to purchase the land for anybody who's watching that is located for school site #1 in the property known as the Sabrana property in the West Area Specific Plan.
Motion to approve 9.3.
I second.
I have a second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, Captain.
Motion passes 5-0.
Wow. Okay. Wow. I just want to say thank you, fellow board members and staff, but that was huge. That was huge. You know, our first real estate property in 2 decades, is that correct?
That's it.
And this is the building of our future. You know, so thank you. Momentous. Remember this day. Here we go. 9.4, approval of 9.4, approval of board resolution 24.0407, district representative to JPA, Joint Powers Authority.
That's my items. That's pretty much what you just mentioned. It's part of the administration guide for the 24-25. And this is just to ensure that there's district representation. We have those quarterly meetings for the JPA for Kinnan Insurance. They have those meetings every quarter and we're just required to list 2 positions. We have the supervisors, physical service, CBO, and I added also the HR director.
Okay. Entertain motion?
Motion to approve.
Second? I'm sorry, go ahead.
All those in favor?
Oh,
Sorry.
aye.
Aye.
Aye, Captain.
5-0.
Carries. Okay, we're gonna move to 9.6, approval of 3.03 FTEs for visual and performing art teachers.
We had a 9.5. Oh, 9.5, sorry.
Oh, I apologize. I'm jumping from 9.4 to 9. It's one of those nights. Here we go. 9.5, approval MOU with Age of Learning for My Math Academy project.
Thank you. West Ed and My Math Academy through Age of Learning are joining forces for a research project to test this program. It's a 2-year project that will begin with kindergartners this year and then follow those students to 1st grade next year. It was presented to our principals who took it back to teachers, and at 2 schools, we had teachers who were interested in participating. And so This is one of two approvals that we'll need. The next one I'll bring to the next board meeting for our work with WestEd. But the two school sites seem eager to participate, and it will give us the opportunity to try a new math program for our younger students. By participating, those two schools will have 2 years of free access to the program if they wish to continue using it after the 2-year research project. And it will also allow us to compare how our students in this program do compared to our students who are not participating in this program. And the teachers can get a stipend for their participation.
I motion to approve.
Good.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye, Captain.
5-0.
Now, here we go. 9.6, approval of 3 FTE for visual and performing art teachers for Proposition 28 Arts and Music Grant.
Thank you. Again, we have some funds to utilize for staffing under the new Proposition 28 for arts and music. And so we are looking right now to cast a wide net, not knowing what kinds of professionals are available. So looking at potential art, music, theater, dance teachers, seeing who applies and then who will be the best fit to offer some additional art programming within our school district.
Okay, motion,
I-
entertain motion.
In 1 minute, I did want to make a comment. I'm just in my, I absolutely agree that we should be advertising for and then making determinations based on hiring. I also have been talking to multiple subject people who are interested in adding an art authorization about how to do that. So just making sure that we offer that to our staff as well. So saying that, motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye, Captain.
5-0.
2 quick comments. I want going back to the approval of the Math Academy project really quick. I really appreciated the fact that you seeked out the input of various sites to find the one if there was, interest, and the fact that they were gung-ho about doing it. I think that's the correct way to do things rather than ramming stuff down from the district level. So I do appreciate that. I think that was it. All right, I'm gonna move forward. Oh, for the fellow board members, I apologize. When I say I'll entertain a motion, you can use that opportunity before you motion and exactly what Sarah did, and then just continue with the being the first on the motion, just to keep it for efficiency. So thank you very much, Sarah. Here we go. 9.7. Approval of revised facilities phasing plan.
Thank you. Well, we met with the facilities committee last week, and it was a unanimous vote to bring a revised phasing plan to the board for approval. I just want to say, because of some deficiencies in funding that we have with the state that we forecasted, they pushed some of the projects out. However, also with using one of the sites as our focal point for the summer school this year, which we are definitely going to have a lot of students, and we're probably looking at using the entire school. And of course, the convenience for any school that we do have is going to be Santa Rita, because we have most of the kids that are walking over to that. Just with that alone, we're running 3 buses, 2 vans. I mean, we're going to be busy this whole summer. So we deferred it for the following year. And the other one was, because of DSA and seismic values now that are the new code. And unfortunately, it's a good choice to do that, solely because not only are we going to, instead of end up with long rectangular buildings, we're going with more of a square, a 30 by 32 versus a 24 by 40. So this is the recommendation from the facilities committee to bring it up to you guys for an approval today.
Motion, I entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye, Captain.
Motion 5-0.
Can I just say, I'm just so appreciative of having that summer academy, with the learning loss and having that additional support, gung-ho, maximize.
Yeah.
Thank you. 9.8, approval of contract with Tumbleson for the installation of 3 classroom portables at La Jolla Elementary.
Thank you. Again, this is also one of my items, and we do have part of that phasing plan already in place, right? So last month, we went out to the bidders and we got an example of what we could be doing with the contract. So with this, it meets our budgetary numbers. It was only unfortunately one last bidder because there's a saturation of projects going out right now from every school district. But we're still getting some good numbers. So my recommendation is to get this on the books. We already did the electrical upgrade, which was necessary in order to put these in, right? So PG&E came during the winter break and they put a brand new pole. They did an upgrade on the transformer and upgraded our electrical system. So now we can hook up a little bit more than what we could before. So with that, thank you.
Thank you for that. Entertain a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Motion
Captain.
5-0.
All right. Here we go. 9.9, approval of purchase of 2 vans for the ELOP program.
Okay, this is kind of an awkward motion for me to come up and say, hey, can you just like promise me not to exceed, right? Well, under the circumstances, and I know I've brought this up to you so many times from previous purchases, like the tractor, 2 years later, we get the tractor, right? You guys approved it. You know, our box van, a year and a half later, now we're still waiting for it. However, we're getting it, right? 2 buses, you know, we waited almost a year. So this is a motion to get a not to exceed. It won't go over this price. We're going to go through the California Multiple Award, CMAS or Sourcewell. So we're guaranteed the best price, but I just need to get in line so I can get these 2 vans as soon as possible. So that if you have any questions,
And
I don't know what else to say. I'm
And I
sorry.
can give a little background about where these were. So these 2 vans would be used for expanded learning opportunity programs. As you know, we'll be having ELOP across all of our sites for next year. My current van gets a lot of use just for the Family Resource Center. And so we feel it's important that they have access to those vehicles to support in transporting students who may be ill, for example, or students who need to go to the Boys and Girls Club or some of those other opportunities. Because Victor's team is going to be transporting students in their regular routes, we feel it's really important that our team has access to those vehicles outside of those regular school hours. And then during the day, we can be using them for some of those other places that we need as well.
I want to comment, last year when we had our event with the classified, I had the honor to shadow Blanca. So I got to ride on the van. And, you know, we went to the food bank. I mean, our district does so much. I mean, that time one of our students was having a really hard time. One of our teachers, you know, said, hey, check if there's anything that we could do. We go above and beyond. And I think it's very needed for transportation because whatever we do have, we are utilizing it. So saying, I feel that, you know, I'm sure you guys feel the same way, but I think it's very, very important. So I think you need to get in line, Victor. So with that, I would like to
entertain a motion?
yes.
Go ahead.
For you to tell me to
Go ahead.
I motion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye, Captain.
Motion 5-0.
All right, 9.10, Chuck, it's your turn. Here we go. Approval of purchase a new delivery truck.
Yeah, so I wish I would have gone first, but so for our department, we have some grant money that's used specifically restricted for equipment, and our box van or box truck is getting older and it has some limitations. So I was able to work with a local dealership, and they have a truck, they're having a box built that will suit our needs better, streamline our delivering for food, and be a little more efficient.
Entertain a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Oh, go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye, Captain.
Motion 5-0.
Okay. Here we go. The fun stuff, just kidding. the electronic. Here we go. 9.11 approval of Parsec Education Data Analytics Service Agreement.
So this is in partnership between Becky and myself. So as you've seen, we've increased the amount of data that we're collecting. So we're collecting iReady data, CAS data, staff wellness data, student wellness data. It goes on and on. We are not data analysts in a full-time position. And we know that we could be doing really great work if we could really dive in and look at that in meaningful ways across all areas. And so I've been reaching out and kind of looking at what's available out there and talking to other folks who have been doing that data work, and Parsec came forward. After vetting them, we would like to move forward with a contract with them to help us bring all of those data pieces together so we can use them in meaningful ways.
I'm flabbergasted. You're not a data scientist? Good God. My expectations are blown. No, listen, data overload.
Not and a community resource fair. I can do one or the other.
No, once again, I fully support this. Data is a difficult animal to contain. You know, you need proper lenses in order to extrapolate the necessary information. And that does take a level of expertise. And we have a lot of data points, millions, I'm sure. Any comments or motion?
I'm going to motion in a minute. I would love to see in like several months after this is implemented, just, you know, some anonymous students and just how we're using that data, because as you guys all know, I love data. So I'm like, oh, I'm so excited.
Did you see this? Did you see that spark?
Larry, you're going to love it. They put like very detailed data pieces together that we get to share out with you. I know I felt the same way.
I know. This is the way that Summer and I, you know, like, oh, it's the best day. Okay. So motion to approve.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye, Captain.
Motion 5-0.
All right, 9.12, approval of contract agreement for TransFinder. You know, I like this technology, you know, it's like keeping track. Transportation bus routing solutions.
Yeah, and I had to explain the TransFinder system in the state of the district.
Mhm.
So this is to secure a contract with them. It's a 38-month contract to be portioned out, payments yearly. So just looking for that 3-year term contract.
Yeah, when I saw the cameras and I saw the data on GPS tracking, I mean, that just safety and security, you know?
Yes.
Entertain a motion?
I just have a question. I know you said it's cloud-based, right? So with that, we have like backups, right? Like in case the system goes down, all that, like.
Yes, it has a DVR on board
Okay.
as well. So it has that full backup system. The cloud base is really for the monitoring
Okay.
and also being able to quickly respond and download as well.
Okay. That's all and with that, I motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, welcome.
Motion 5-0.
Oh, lovely. Let's get them ID cards. 9.13, approval of contract for CI Solutions Student ID Services.
Okay, and so this again is with a contract base for our card solutions for our student IDs. The first year of the contract is going to be included with onboarding and training, and then the remaining 2 years will be billed annually, and that's going to include a service agreement and a hot swap if any of the card software should go down, and they will be printing cards for us yearly as well.
My only concern, I was a kindergarten teacher for many years, and I have real thoughts about little people. So I'm trusting you guys are going to make that work. If I was a kinder teacher, I'm going to be completely honest and say I'd want 3 cards for each of my students. I'd want a lunch card, a backpack card, and
I'm telling you,
you know,
GPS
the
tagging.
backup to the backpack card. So it's gonna be an
Little people.
We have a plan as someone who was once principal of a kindergarten, first grade school, who need to learn how to have their lovely ID and how you can put that data on a nice laminated piece as they learn how to hang on to that and lose it a couple of times. Yeah, we got that slated to roll out that way for them.
Yeah. You know, the old safety pins from the 19. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, Captain.
5-0.
All right. Time for security. Time for protection. 10 for intrusion detection. Here we go. 9.14, approval of contract with CDW to procure Sophos endpoint security for district technology.
Yes, and so this is to procure an ongoing one-year contract with CDW to help us onboard Sophos and continue with that. It is a yearly, so that way we can continue to pay that on that basis. And we'll be reviewing and renewing at the end of this year.
Lovely. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion 5-0.
Aye, Captain. Here we go. Advanced planning. Oh, I like that new section. I wasn't here last session. All right, here we go. New. All right, 10.1, next regular board meeting, advanced planning. What are you guys thinking? April 24th? Oh, that's today's date. Any additional items you want to place?
I had a couple questions. I know our next board meeting is going to be May 8th at John Gutierrez, not necessarily for that board meeting, but I had questions about when we were going to honor our retirees this year. And then also what the dates were for graduation.
Yeah.
We'll send you that as a calendar invite in the morning for both of them.
Appreciate that.
And then also with graduation, I have had some parents reach out about tickets, about age limits, little ones, are they allowed, like a lot of questions. And so I know it's getting closer. So if we could just make sure that our principals are, maybe sending some information, letting them know that we're working on that, and all that information will be included once it's ready.
We'll check in with them. Thank you.
Huh. Let's hope for sunshine and not cold wind like last year. I still remember. Remember that. Looking forward to it. All right. Any other items anybody want to bring up? Okay. Our next board meeting is what, the 8th, I think you said?
Yes.
May 8th. And that one is at JG?
At John Gutierrez Middle School. And for people, we may be changing the start time. So
Yes.
please be aware of, and anyone who's planning to be there, we will get information out to you, but we're just discussing it. And just to let the public know, we're just discussing it in terms of doing like walkarounds at the site, looking at facilities, that kind of thing, since we're going to physically be there.
Yeah, so there'll be some type of modification. We'll let the public know in due course. Okay, having said that, any other item? Okay, love to adjourn the meeting. Love to entertain a final motion.
I motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Captain.
Motion 5-0.